So a lot of you have been asking for the controversial couples very first kind of podcast slash vlog, I guess. And we've been kind of hemming and hawing on what our first topic should be. So we figured it would probably be good for us to talk about something that is pretty common issue in a lot of homes today. And so we're going to talk about family time versus electronics time. And so I think that I'll start it off. I think that having a phone in your hand has taken the place of a lot of family connection time. I think that it should be limited. I think that it's, important to have that family time. But because we are controversial, I'm going to take the unpopular stance, and I'm going to say it's important to have that electronics time because it's important to take a break and reset and spend time by yourself and your own thoughts, whether it's watching a show, playing a game. I think it's important to be able to have the freedom to be able to kind of disconnect and do your own thing. So Brian, what do you think?
I think that electronics should be limited. I grew up on a time where we didn't have that, and so my opinion is, we need to experience life not through a phone, but through things that we can do outside and do. Because our younger generations have lost some of those things that we used to do, of being creative outside and creating things like forts and stuff like that. And
But it's also harder to be outside because it's a different world now versus when you and I grew up. You and I grew up in a time where we just had to be home before the lights came on, the street lights came on, and now we're in a time where there's a lot of danger. There's a lot higher danger, and depending on where you live, the neighborhood you live in, and even sometimes the city you live in, there's a greater risk of getting hurt, of having some sort of crime brought against you. It's harder.
I would disagree. I think the crime and everything was there back then. Maybe some of the crime has changed in a degree, but the capacity for everything to happen back then was the exact same. It's just that the big chip thing that changed is, as neighbors, we looked out for each other, where we don't do that now. And
so what do you think causes that disconnect, that our neighbors aren't looking out for us anymore? Because if nothing's changed, then looking out for each other and that mentality hasn't changed either.
Well, it has, because there's a great point somebody made at one time that said the reason why we've lost neighborhoods is we've also lost the front porch. Back when we were young, parents and families would hang out on the front porch and keep an eye on each other and see each other's kids playing in the street and talk to each other. And at this point, nobody has a front porch much anymore, and they definitely don't hang out there anymore.
I think that's a very American point of view, in the sense that, I know for me anyway, and the way that I grew up, our families didn't hang out in the front porch. If nothing else, we were hanging out in the back porch. And what that meant for us is family. Family would come over, and when your friends would come over, they were family. Family hung out in the back porch, and we played in the water slides, and we swam in the pools, or we smoked our cigars, or what have you. And that's what we did to look out for each other. It wasn't you're outside on the street and we're gonna keep an eye on you out there. It's you're out on the street, we're gonna bring you into our home, and you're gonna be part of our family. While you're here, we're gonna watch out for you. We're gonna keep you safe. We might even feed you, and then we'll send you back home. But we're not gonna run the risk of you getting hurt or hit by a bus or something playing outside in the front where there's a greater risk of getting hurt. We're going to bring you in. So, and that doesn't mean the Spanish families didn't allow their kids outside to play. Of course they did. But if you were a Spanish family that was very, I don't know, if you were in a harder to live in neighborhood, we would rather bring you in. If you were in, a neighborhood that was less rough, then you were, they expected you to go out and play, go ride your bike, go do something like that. But if you were in a harder neighborhood, it was going to be harder for you to be riding your bike because someone could take it, or things like that. So you would just come inside and play in the backyard. Now this doesn't apply obviously to the bigger cities. So what do you say to families like that who they have a stoop but they can't necessarily let their kids run around on the streets, busy streets and stuff, and they don't have a front yard?
Well, like I said, I think part of that is you also have to look at culture and location, because yes, you're talking about you guys spend most of it inside and in a pool because you lived in South Florida, whereas I lived north and we had cool weather and it was nice to sit outside. Then that's what we did because it was something to do. People in this town, in general, in wherever, in cities and whatnot, I mean, there's still, the draw is for everybody to withdraw into their home now these days versus be a community. There is no the sense of community has been lost, and that's where kids are withdrawing. That's why you see children that don't have friends or as many friends because they're not going out, they're staying within. They stay with the parents, stay with the family and everything like that, and there's not that sense of reaching out to kids in the area to make friends, or associating with kids at school and saying, hey, let's hang out. Do you live close? Can we, meet up? Something like that. And I see a lot of that has disappeared in today's community.
Okay, but the whole point of this video is to say electronics versus family time. So you're saying that reaching out the community to the community is creating a sense of family. Are you saying that family time does not just apply to the family that you live with or the family that you choose? You're saying that family time includes the community around you?
No, I'm saying that the whole mentality is that everybody wants to withdraw into their own world. So, parents, children, all together want to go to their social media world with their phone and withdraw into their video games, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want to name it. And the sense of community is lost even within the family. And so, yes, they may want to spend family time together at points, but a lot of society today is more focused on withdrawing into your own electronic cell phone world or whatever, video game world. There's tons of news reports of, parents neglecting children because they wanted to play a video game. And there's reports of, kids and obesity because they don't have any activity outside and they spend it only on the phone and playing video games.
Well, but now you're bringing in obesity and health issues. That's a separate issue altogether.
I'm talking about the fact that what electronics do is they cause us to withdraw and not be our better selves, our physical selves that communicate with others, that reach out to others and try to grow ourselves. We only focus on what we enjoy. So, it doesn't, electronics are easy because they satisfy our need, satisfy our self-gratification, whatever, and it doesn't force us to be social
space to retreat into. And the other thing is, you said they may not have a lot of friends. I don't think it matters so much how many friends they have, obviously, just the quality of the friendships that they have. But even some kids who are ostracized for being different, for being, whatever, on whatever spectrum of personality or anything, they're going to be ostracized, they're going to be marginalized because they're different within their community. It all depends. And I think because of the fact that everything is so, customizable, there's really no right or wrong answer when it comes to electronics versus family time, because it's all relative. It's all based off of what your personal situation is.
In regards to what you're saying, there's a lot of stuff that you can say about that in regards to inner city and things like that. You can go back to the old. You can go back to old film, old stuff, and you can see that kids, even in big cities, were playing with each other. They'd go out and play stickball. Now I know that's a very dated thing, but there was capacity for kids to still go out and play. And the relevance where I said in regards to today and friendship and family time, there's numerous occasions and numerous documentation of families coming together to have dinner together, and everyone is on their phone, either in a restaurant or
Right.
even at their home.
I disagree with that. Yeah, I think that's wrong.
So
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Family, electronic time is taking over family time in a lot of situations that I believe it needs to be.
Yeah. I think sitting around the family table, having a meal, sitting up to the counter and having a meal together, I think that's important. I think that's something that has to happen without question in any blended family, in any family that you're going to be in. Even if it's family that you choose to have, you should be sharing a meal at a common table, at a common space. I think that's very important, and it's better to have it undistracted.
Right, and which is why, again, I believe that electronics is invading that, and it also affects the way we interact socially with each other, because, again, we have lost in many times that art of communication in regards to communicating face to face. So we're used to communicating through text, through message or something like that, and we've lost that ability to communicate face to face comfortably, and being able to read people's body language and be able to react and be able to work things out.
Right.
Social electronics has changed people's persona and personality to where there is no face. It's a blank wall they're speaking to, and because of that, they can just be as open as they want, which is good. But in the same way, people lose that filter of being able to be respectful to each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of like social justice warriors and keyboard kings and stuff like that just they're bullies behind a keyboard, and
right,
and
but
they
that
just think that
translates into everyday life as well, because they take that behavior and they transfer it to everyday life, where it's not socially acceptable. We've lost that social ability to interact,
and it creates more social tension that needs to be. I want to get the kids' opinion real quick, so we'll start with Nisi. No, it's okay, I'll hold it. We'll start with Nisi.
So I'm actually going to say the reason why family time is actually...
Go ahead.
So the reason why family time is more important than being on electronics is because, well, if you're on your phone and you get like an unknown call...
Talk louder, please.
You can get an unknown call, and then like kids like my age or something don't know who it is and would answer it, and then they would find out like bad news would happen.
you?
I mean, family time can just be. See, a lot of people think family time is like electronics time is like the bane of family time. You can't have family time with electronics time, and that to me is false. You can have it. It's just that a lot of people, a lot of the adults don't understand that kids, the best way they connect with other kids and their friends is through the game, and they enjoy doing accomplishments together, being together, and family time. Like the adults, even if they don't understand the game, they can still at least try it and try to spend family time with the game. Now, I understand that they should set like strict rules about certain times when you're allowed to play it, and like when you're not allowed to play it, like during dinner time, obviously, and stuff like that. And like they should set rules like that, and at least try to get them to go out at least a few times a week, something like that. But it's family time and game time can be together. It just most people don't understand that yet, and kids don't understand that adults don't always understand their games, so they need to adapt to the adults as well as the adults need to adapt to the kids, so that way they can both combine the family time that the adults are used to, and the adults can adapt to the family time that the kids are used to. And it's something like that overlaps. And I agree with what my mom was saying, because like you can have not many friends, but you can have really good friends. And what my sister was saying was also really good. Like, if you need to talk to someone you can't talk to anymore because they're like on the other side of the world or something, you can't talk to them face to face. It's very hard. So it's a lot simpler and easier, and you can do it more. You can talk to them more frequently if you use an electronic device. Because
So you're saying in some ways having electronics and access to electronics is bringing you together, is bringing families together instead of keeping them apart.
I mean, like,
depending on when you're using it and what time you're using it, and if you guys are actually connecting. If you guys are just like, "Sup, what are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing this." "Okay." And then you guys don't talk for the next 50 minutes, and then you're like, "Oh, I just did this." "Okay." That's
if it's like,
not connecting. But if you're like, "Guys, I'm gonna go do this. I want to do this. How about we all try on this together?" That's building collaboration, cooperation, and teamwork.
Okay, that's a good point. It's a good exercise in leadership and things like that. It's true.
and it's just, if you need to talk to someone, like if you're inviting them, like somewhere, like let's say you're gonna have like a birthday party, how are you gonna talk to them if they don't live with you, or they're not like your next door neighbors or something? If they're like far away, how you gonna invite them? You gotta use the electronics. But family is obviously more important, because like when you have a party, it's so fun having like more people join your party. It's not fun when people are just on their phones when they arrive.
Right. You don't want to have a birthday party and have everybody watching a video or playing a game or something. You want them to put the phones down and have fun.
It's like really fun. Like if you had a pool party, it would be so fun to jump in the pool and have fun with your family and your friends and all the people who are special to you.
Yeah.
And I obviously think that people should have their personal space sometimes when it comes to family time. Well, because sometimes people might not be in the mood.
Right.
But it doesn't mean you shouldn't stop having family time. It just means that if you're not in the mood by like being near each other, then
that it's okay to take a break.
Yeah, it's okay. Just
Well, like Rafa, you sometimes will tell your sister, I need alone time. And you'll sit there and read a book, or you'll read the Bible, or you're gonna play your video game. all of those ways are ways that you choose to kind of decompress. But Nisi, when you need time alone to kind of check in with yourself and make sure that you're not stressing yourself out, what is it that you do to
Sometimes
relax?
I would just do what I do normally, draw my feelings out. I would read something, just scream into a pillow.
Yeah, that's to get out your anger. I'm
I
talking
know.
about when you just want to relax,
Oh,
like when you're just trying to get yourself back into like a calm space,
yeah. Sometimes
or what you call a fluffy cloud.
Yeah, I like calling myself. I want to turn into a fluffy cloud, not a stormy cloud. Because
Right.
when you're a stormy cloud, that means that your feelings are just emotional. You don't have anything to help you in your heart, but you can. There is one thing that can actually help your feelings. You can also pray to the Lord, and it can make your emotions, the sadness and the anger, break. And then you'll have the calm voice and the happiness in your heart, having the time to have fun with your family.
Yeah, that's a good point. Prayer really does help when you need to relax. So let's close off this video with everybody kind of just, let me see if I can fit this.
I mean,
Everybody just kind
Okay,
of
Rafa,
giving
come in.
your final thoughts. So Bobby, final thoughts, maybe 1 minute or so. Give me your final thoughts on where you stand with regards to family time versus electronics.
Well, again, the big thing that I have to say is that, you know, regarding electronics and family time is as we get older and grow up and become adults and reach the end of our life, the one regret many people have is that they wish they had more time with family. That is one of the key things. So, you know, granted, that movie may be entertaining, that game may be entertaining, but 20 years from now, you know, that is not what's going to sustain you. What's going to sit in your heart, what's going to sit in your mind is the quality time that you spent with your family. Now, that can be with electronics, doing that. But the important thing is just creating memories, because that is what is the treasure of anybody in their life. And what creates really happiness and fulfillment is a memory of happiness, of community, and feeling appreciated and loved. So whatever method that is, that's what's really important.
Awesome. I like that. That's a good one. Okay, Nisi, what's your final thoughts? About a minute or so, please.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, if you do have family time, you might actually a lot of girls like to do this. A lot of girls like to sing to let their feelings have fun. They like to sing I love to sing, and then they sing a lot, and then their emotions just turn into a happiness song that they can literally sing about in their heart that can make them even more happy. You can even do that at home if you want. Or
Yeah, you can
anywhere.
make a song with your family and sing. Okay, that's good. I like that. Rafa?
I just think we all need to understand our different connecting points and stuff, and that parents should push on when you are allowed and when it's respectable to do it, to play on electronics, and when it's not, at a party or at dinner, you don't do that. But at home, when you have free time, sometimes, sure, go ahead. You know.
Well, for me, I think that, there needs to be a balance, and Brian makes a very excellent point. At the end of your life, you're not going to say, oh, I wish I had played that game, or, oh, I wish I'd beat that one boss, or, oh, I wish I had taken the time to watch that one movie. Those are going to be good, like Rafa says, connecting points, but they're not going to be the thing that keeps you at the end of your life. When you're laying when you're laying on your deathbed, the last thing you're going to be thinking is not, I regret not spending time playing. It's going to be, I regret not doing this and having this family memory. So for me, when I'm at the end of my life, I want to have no regrets. But no, really, like if I want to be able to say I took that trip, I made that memory, I saw that monument, I did something that was important to me, important to my life, and that means that I included my family, my kids, my husband, my parents, and I want to be able to say that I included the people in my life that are important to me. And yeah, that includes the community that I live in. I want to be able to say I did that event. I helped organize, a way to help the community. And I think that that's just as important as, going to the beach with your kids. Teaching your kids how to care about people, teaching your kids how to care about the community, teaching your kids how to take care of others, teaching them how to, give not only of their time, but of their finances and their resources. I think that's very important. And I think that's part of being part of the greater society, which is human race. So, long story short, I think that there's a time and place for everything. And I'm very much in the wheelhouse of everything in moderation. And like Rafa said, setting ground rules, I think, is important. So, all right, guys.
Okay,
Say
bye.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.
Thank you for joining us on our family car ride. Super deep discussion.
That was a really long car ride. If you were in here, your butt would be cramped.
Oh my gosh. Okay, bye.
Edit that out.